Hello everyone, TimeToGrind here, and today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Sombra ARG that's been going on. And if you don't know what the Sombra ARG is, it's pretty much, well, first of all, an ARG is an alternate reality game. So it's when devs put like little secrets and hints into games or trailers or something, and it's an actual puzzle you have to solve out of game. And you know, one trailer might give you clues to solve another puzzle and another one of the trailers that they hid on, you know, and on and on and on. And you know, a lot of devs use it to kind of tease at things, and you know, also just to make it fun and make, you know, the players do something and be thinking about the game outside of playing the game itself. And so Blizzard did this with Sombra, the new hero that we're expecting to come out at some point. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about how much I've hated it. Now, you know, I loved it at the beginning like everyone else, but I slowly kind of started to see what everyone else was seeing, and eventually coming to the conclusion that I have now. So, at the beginning, you know, when the first kind of hints were coming out for like teasing Sombra, it was super exciting for everyone. Because of the fact that, you know, it was an ARG. You know, we just found out that, you know, there's this ARG, Blizzard's playing with us, and you know, we're trying to solve all these things, and it's like, whoa, you know. And then we found out, you know, some clues about Sombra and stuff like that, and we're like, oh my god, you know, maybe if we solve, you know, as a community, the ARG, Sombra will be released. And we even had, there's some, you know, big group, you know, small group of people called game detectives that they, you know, they are really great at this kind of stuff. And so they even, you know, were helping out a bunch of stuff in the ARG. And so, you know, the community as a whole was really excited. Now, I wasn't following it like too like in depth. I was kind of following where we were, but I wasn't like following each of the steps, and I definitely was not helping solving the puzzles and stuff like that. But it was definitely interesting to read about and watch about and stuff like that. And it was really exciting, because I don't know if I misheard like Blizzard or if I just made this up in my head and I thought Blizzard said it, but I could have sworn that they said we were going to get multiple heroes and maps in the summer. I don't think they said that extent. And I also thought I heard them say we were going to get a new hero in August. Now, of course, we got Anna, and she's awesome, and we got Eichenwald, or however you pronounce that, and that's awesome as well. But you know, I'm not mad or anything. I thought in my head that August we were getting a new hero. And so Gamescom was in August. It was at the end of August, and all this ARG stuff kind of started happening, and it was happening in the beginning of August. So in my head, I was like, oh dude, this is so cool. You know, all this ARG is going to happen, and then, you know, at the end of August, Gamescom's going to come around, and they're going to announce Sombra, and it's going to be amazing. And you know, eventually we got like a countdown, and we were all like really hyped, because we're like, oh shit, you know, we did it. We did all the clues. We you know, we solved all the puzzles, the riddles, and now there's a countdown. And when the countdown finishes, it's gonna be Gamescom, and we're gonna get Sombra. And you know, a lot of I just kind of want to point out, a lot of the hints and like little teasers we were getting was just like Sombra saying she was a hacker in Spanish. Like, I mean, that's extremely like exaggerating, but it felt that way. Like, it wasn't like really teasing any of Sombra's abilities. It wasn't teasing her weapons. It wasn't teasing, you know, really any of this. It was just like, oh, I'm a hacker, and by the way, I speak Spanish. And that felt like what so many of the teasers were. And so that was a little disappointing, but you know, that's fine, because we had the countdown. I was so sure we were gonna get it at Gamescom. Them announce it, because you know, normally Blizzard does announce a lot of stuff at Gamescom. Like they're one of the companies that treat it very highly. And Gamescom came around, and we didn't get anything at all. And you know, a couple days later, you know, there was a little bit more ARG solving, but at this point people were kind of burnt out on it. You know, it was a little ridiculous. And then someone on Reddit realized that a website called A Moment in Crime. It was originally used in beta when they were introducing like Junkrat and Roadhog. Like they were teasing the heroes and they're like, oh, you can email us at this website and stuff like that. And it was used to kind of like, it was like a news station almost in the Overwatch world talking about Junkrat and Roadhog. And someone visited the site and it had been transformed into this. And it, it's like some coding with Sombra and stuff like that. And there's a countdown. Actually, it's not a countdown, it's a count up. And we're like, oh, okay, and a lot of us started to get hyped again because we're like, oh, okay, so, there's no way in hell they're going to do 2 countdowns to another countdown or, count up or whatever. And so that was really cool. That actually got my interest up a little bit more. And then we noticed how slowly the countdown or count up was actually going. It's been like, I don't know, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks since it first the website first came up, and it is only at like 40-something%. The actual video might change, or the website might change by the time this video goes out, but it's like 40-something right now. And that means that we have like, if the percentage keeps going at the rate it has been going, that means we're gonna have like 3 or 4 more weeks until Sombra. And I just kind of wanted to, not only talk about that a little bit, like my kind of experience with it, but I'm sure that wasn't the most interesting thing. But I just kind of wanted to talk about, like, if I could create an ARG, like, kind of the perfect way I would do it. And first of all, I just want to say how they like announced and released Ana was great. It was like within a week that they started teasing maybe a little bit of her weapons and stuff like that, and then a week later we got her, and that was ridiculously amazing. But Sombra, it's been like over a month and a half, 2 months, and that's a little silly if you ask me, because it just it makes me feel that either something happened and Sombra is not ready to get put in the game, or they just don't know what they're doing with an ARG, because they're making, like, I don't know, my hype is completely, like, I don't care about it at all. Like, we could get, unless they start teasing things with her weapons and abilities, I'm not too interested at all, just because of the fact that I don't know whether it's going to be another 2 months or 4 months, or whether we're not even going to get Sombra. She's just going to be some lore in the game or something, or a new short. Of course she's going to be a hero, but it's just kind of the fact that it's taken so long, and I know other people kind of feel the same way I do. So if I was designing like my ARG, the one thing I feel like I would do is all of the little teasers and things that were getting teased, make it actually meaningful rather than like, oh, I'm Sombra and I speak Spanish. Maybe talk a little bit about who manufactured her weapons. Maybe, kind of tease a little bit, maybe like what she does for, or, like what maybe one of her abilities are, kind of what it's like or something like that. So if maybe one of her abilities is like she hacks an enemy's armor or something, I don't know, and it malfunctions, maybe she, teases a little bit about, and then a news clipping of her hacking someone's armor or something like that, kind of make the evidence that you're like sprinkling about, maybe make it meaningful. So, rather than just the same thing over and over. And also, make it not this long. I can maybe understand at the most a month, but even then, that better be one hell of an elaborate ARG to cover an entire month, because also this ARG, I mean, I'm not gonna like, put down the people that have been solving the puzzles and riddles, because it has definitely been complicated and I wouldn't have been able to do it, but it doesn't feel like it was so complicated to merit it being a month and a half, 2 months long. And so, it's definitely getting a little ridiculous now. I hope to God that whenever that A Moment in Crime timer does end, we actually get Sombra, and not just like, oh, an announcement of Sombra. Like, I mean, like, we better like open up Overwatch and Sombra is in. And I also really hope that something happens to disrupt the percentage or like rush it, because if we're just waiting at the percent it's been going, that's like another 3 to 4 weeks, and that's a little ridiculous. So for me, I've kind of forgotten about it entirely. You know, I'm always thinking about Sombra a little bit, but my hype is definitely dead until, you know, we actually get some things about her besides the fact that she's a hacker and she's Spanish. You know, until we get things that aren't that, or it's getting really close that we know to it. You know, it's definitely, my hype has died down a little bit. One thing though is I do want to give props though to Blizzard, although I don't agree with like pretty much any of the decisions they made for the ARG. You know, I definitely want to give props to them because ARGs don't really happen that often, and when they do, they're really cool because they bring the community together even more than we already are. That's one thing I like about the Overwatch community. I feel like we're one of the like most friendly and, you know, kind of together communities. I don't know why I think that. I just definitely think that. Completely off topic. But, you know, I want to thank Blizzard for doing it, though. I just wish they maybe tweak the way they do it in the future. Because if something like this happens in the future for another hero or map or something, I'm definitely not going to be too interested in it. So that was kind of my thoughts and discussions, maybe a little ranty. About the Sombra ARG so far, and maybe kind of what I want to see in the future for it. And yeah, so also one little thing I wanted to ask you guys about, because, you know, I as you guys know, I like keeping my you know, channel really transparent, and I really value your guys' opinions and stuff like that. I'm only still making videos because of you awesome people. So one little thing I kind of wanted to test the interest of, so I guess you know, if you have an answer for this question, just, you know, tell me in the comments down below or message me on Twitter or something like that. But I've been thinking kind of a little bit about maybe making a couple videos here and there that aren't about Overwatch. So say I'm enjoying a game, you know, a lot, maybe making a video about it. Maybe if a new game comes out that I'm really interested in, or have strong opinions about it, maybe making a review for it. And I did like a Twitter poll, and if you're not following me on Twitter, it's at the TimeToGrind. Shameless promotion there. But so I asked like on a Twitter poll this kind of question probably about 5-6 months ago, and it was like half and half, but I just kind of wanted to gauge the interest of you guys, you know, whether you would watch videos if they didn't maybe pertain to Overwatch like completely. So yeah, just let me know in the comments down below whether you think that's a retarded idea, or if, you know, you think it's a decent idea and you'd maybe want to try watching some of those videos or something. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching this video, listening to me ramble. And if you enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below, and consider subscribing to see more Overwatch content and news. And like always, guys, see you next time.